What's in my camera bag? This is a very common question that I get either in DMs on Instagram or when I see people at sporting events and I'm carrying my camera or a lens in my hand. So today I'm going to go through what's in my camera bag for sports photography. So here we go. All right, so let's get started. So this is my Think Tank camera bag. It's pretty big, but it fits everything I need in for game day. So first off, let's see. Right here, I have my laptop, and I use a MSI laptop. It's labeled as a gaming laptop, but it's very powerful and good for video and photo editing. So I always keep that on me because I have to get photos in pretty quickly after games and events. So I bring that with me so I can go through the photos real quick, upload them to a drive, a Google Drive or a OneDrive, and send them off to where it needs to be. And then a couple essentials is a battery charger. I usually carry 2 of these to charge up my camera batteries. And then I have a SD card reader. My Canon R6 uses SD cards, so I use this. Thanks to Sigma, they sent me this one recently, and it's much smaller than the one I had prior, so I've been using this one as of recently. And then let's dive into the gear. So we'll start off with the big dog. This is my 300 f2.8 Canon lens. It's the non-IS. That's my go-to for almost all sports. There are some sports that it's overkill or it's just too big to get around with, but it comes in really handy for football and baseball. Sometimes it's nice to use in softball as well, especially in track. It allows me to get closer when you can't get closer physically. So having that extra reach on the 300 is nice. So since we're talking lens, the camera of choice, I have 2 Canon R6s, one I'm shooting on now, and this one. This one right now has the 50 RF on it. I don't use it too often for sports, but occasionally it does come in handy for like volleyball. If I need a prime to get more light, it's a 1.8. So the Canon R6. For the big lens, a monopod comes in really handy. I can mount it right to the bottom of the lens on the plate right here, and it allows me to not put that much weight onto the camera because it could mess up the mounts. So having a monopod for a lens that heavy is very handy. Some people use it with the 7200s. Speaking of 7200s, that's another lens that I use for sports a lot. Most of the time, it's going to be gymnasium sports, so volleyball and basketball. I use 7200 a lot if I'm not using the 85 prime. Now, a couple essentials that come in really handy for football, and since it's football season right now, is knee pads. You would think turf is going to be soft or softer, but those little beads really grind into your knees. So having knee pads that you could slip on and off come in really handy. These were super cheap, I think, on Amazon. And they're kind of just like little gel pockets. And they're easy and they're small. They're not like big like construction knee pads that we've had to use in the past. So I've been using those as of recently. Another thing that I love to keep in the bag is batteries. Plenty of batteries. You will end up going through batteries because you're taking so many pictures or videos that always have an extra batteries. I usually have 5 or 6 extra batteries on me at all times in the bag. And then you can never go wrong with having a lens cloth. Keeping the front element of your lens clean comes in really handy. So I always keep one of these in here. In my bag. I think I keep one in almost all my bags in case I use a different bag for a smaller event and I'm only taking 1 camera, 1 lens. I have a smaller bag. But a lens cloth that comes in really, really handy. So a lens that you can't see right now, which is on this camera that I'm shooting with, is the Sigma 24mm 1.4 art lens. It comes in really handy for the wide shots. If you watched a previous video, I did a POV with a helmet. Face mask cam for football, that's the lens that was behind the face mask to get that POV shot. Another lens I don't have with me today is my 85 1.8. It's a prime lens. Comes in really handy for basketball. Comes in really handy in low light situations. And if you need something small to kind of get around with and you need a little more reach than what I have on the 50, 85 comes in really handy. Being at 1.8 gives you that great bokeh, that great blur separation from the background. So those are like my game day essentials when it comes to at least sports right now, and that's volleyball and football. But it all kind of carries over into the other seasons of sports for the most part. Some gear I don't use in other sports. I find that the 300 is a little too long for softball from where I can shoot. So I'm usually with the 70-200 and the 24 to have that wide shot for the dugouts. Track 70-200, having that zoom is a little better sometimes on some of the events. So I kind of flip from the 300 to 70-200 and back and forth. And then there's always the 24 for any wide shots or creative shots that I want to get into. So that's my camera bag for sports. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.